Hey, welcome back everybody. So here, I don't know, it's been a month ago or so, I purchased this old plow truck from my neighbor. And the plow was off of it because it was summertime here, but he had got it for a plow truck, and of course it has the notorious 5.4 3-valve Triton engine in it, which let go here, I don't know, late summer. And he called me up, asked if I wanted it because I wanted a plow for my truck I got from my dad. And so basically I bought the plow, got the truck for free, so not a bad deal. We can just take a quick look at the truck here. I mean, I got to take all the plow accessories off. I'm going to use the tires. The tires are 16-inch tires, and these are goofy 15-inch tires, which I don't know why they did that. But and then I think I'm going to take a fender off of it. This was the only place on my dad's truck that had rust, and this one here has got a good fender, which, yeah, I don't know why, but it's got some other rust on it. But we'll walk around here. I'll pop the hood. I'm going to get the plow mounted on the truck first, and then we're going to take and we're going to, I mean, it's not bad inside. I'll give you a quick tour. I'll do it when we pull it in. We're going to find out what's wrong with the motor. We're going to pull the motor, but it had 120,000. I don't know if you can see that. It's getting pretty dark. 120,000 on it. And I mean, it's not bad, you know, for an old Ford. And it's had leather seats in it. Mine's got cloth, but yeah, a lot of usable parts. I need the mirror because my dad broke his, but yeah, I mean, it's got some rust. Once we get in the shop, we'll go through it better. But yeah, definitely want the tires. And the tailgate won't fit mine because it's narrower. Mine's the step side. This is a fleet side. Bumper's not bad. And I mean, the split, I think that's a electric rear window, which mine's not. But yeah, I mean, actually the old truck, if it was still run, it's not a bad truck, but it's just too much to repair. Them Triton engines, they're, I think short block on these are like $5,000. I mean, this truck ain't worth that. But yeah, it's got the 5.4 3-valve. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I mean, he tried taking it locked up tight. I helped him tow it home, but you know, he cut the belt off to make sure something else wasn't seized up, but it's locked up tight. It won't even crank over. So I know a couple of things which I've learned since I've had my dad's is the rockers have rollers on the end, and them rollers start getting wore out, and then they get really loose and they pop off, and somehow they take the keepers out of the valve stem, and then the valve drops down in the block. I don't think that's what happened to this. I think this one lost the timing chain. Just by the way it sounded a few days before it broke, it was really complaining when it went down the lane next door to me. So yeah, and when they start complaining, you only got, well, I mean, that just from what people say online, you got about 15,000 miles before they let go. So we're gonna get all the bracketry and all the electric and get it switched to this. So I'm gonna pull this. This has got the 4.6 in it. Is that right? 4.6 liter 2-valve, I believe. I'm not a Ford guy. Just never been a Ford guy. I mean, I got that Mercury out of a barn that we did here a while back, and yeah. But yeah, mine is a 4.6 liter. Yeah, and it's less than 100,000. So if you got to keep your oil changed, you got to keep up on maintenance. And I'm just going to use the plow for our drive here. And we got this, it goes clear around and down to the barn, and I'll do my daughter-in-law's lane. And yeah, it's just gonna be nice instead of using the old Bobcat that we repaired here last winter, just with no cab. I mean, no cab, no nothing, just right out in the middle of nothing when it's 20 below. So okay, let's get this thing pulled up to the shop. I can't get it inside, but I can get it pulled up we can start getting the plow brackets off and the wiring. All right, let's get this thing in the shop. That'll work. All right, I can work on it when it's dark outside. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna work at getting the figure out how to get this plow mount off, because it's kind of, I suppose you gotta take the bumper off. The way it looks, that bracket up there, and this one, there's a hole there, but the other two, I think I'm going to have to drill a hole. And you know, these are all, I don't know how there's a bracket that sticks down in there. I don't know if you can see it right up in that hole, right there in that hole. It goes back, I'd imagine, to hold the bolt, the nuts on back here. I don't know, but it looks like if I take off, we'll get the bumper off, and then I'd imagine you just, you know what, I bet you those got welded nuts on the back, on that bracket there, that go back to there. Question is, are they gonna come off? And I still gotta take the bumper off to get it out, because I don't know if you can see it right up in there. That right there. Hold on. Right, where is it now? Now I lost it right there. That's kind of like a handle that goes back in there. So, all right, well, let's get this thing off first. Looks like somebody's already had this off, maybe when they put the plow on, because there's only a few pieces. Yeah, only 3 hooks holding it. I'll put these in the tray here, and let's see what we got here. So let me get my other flashlight. Let's see what we got down in here. Can't see much from here. It looks like it's got an aftermarket, what is that, tranny cooler or power steering cooler? That looks like the oil cooler down there, but that looks like an aftermarket transmission cooler, which, if that's what it is, I may put that on the other truck, because it looks fairly new. Looks like the radiator's in good shape too, so I'll have a spare one of those. All right, I think I'm gonna try to get this grill out of here. Excuse me, I'm not sure how that comes out of there. Take the whole face of it off. I think that's what I do, is get my screw gun, and let's take this whole, I think it comes out in one piece, this whole front grill, which, yeah. Let me get my stuff around, we'll start taking that apart. Okay. Of course, that one's got a strip out, but I think the little, yeah, Let me get my, let's see if we can pull this up here. Yeah, good. Now what else here? I'm gonna get you out of stand here and see if I can show you here. There's one little screw down in there that holds the corner of the light assembly. I gotta get this other one out of here. Of course, I immediately dropped it on the ground or somewhere. I don't know where it went. See if I can get this one out here. Yeah. Yeah, of course, dropped it. Sorry about bumping. I'm trying to do this one-handed here. And this one, see if I can get out without dropping it. There's that one. Put that in my container. Now we got to pry these up. I should. Get this out of the way. That should release the headlight assembly. Should. Everything's got to fight you. There. Now I think there are some screws. Get my light here, I think. What's holding this thing on here? What's holding that on? So that is out. Well, I'm looking at it, but I can't see what's holding that on there. Does that come out with the grill? I don't think it does. That's got to come out of there somehow. I got the screw out. I'm trying to get the light so you guys can see it. Yeah, it just comes out. Okay. Just slide straight forward. There we go. Alrighty. Let's get you back in the stand here. Sorry about all the jostling. I'll try to cut some of that out. Why has everything got to fight you? Of course, you can't twist that out of there because until you unhook it, I guess. We don't need that. Jeez, Pete Maw. Sure, got to break it. Alright, let's go over here. Yeah, you can't turn that far enough. I guess you go the other way. Alright. Now, let's see. Oh, there we go. There's the screw. Hey, there's that screw I lost. Awesome. I think I'm not really gonna need it, but go to the other side, get that one. Now, I think it looks like there's clips. I think they're pretty loose. I think what we got to do, let me get you a little lower. All right, not gonna lie to you, that was a pain in the, yeah, that was a pain. The biggest part was these clips right here. I'm gonna set this up here. If you can. It's gonna stay. These clips right here were factory original. I gotta take them out clear at the end, but those Christmas trees, they were in there in these. I mean, they were stuck. Them had to be original clips for the truck because, man, those things were in. I mean, I cried. And it's gonna take new ones. Now I know what I'm going to do on the other truck is make sure I got new ones of those, because there's no way. I mean, those things were, I mean, unbelievable. I think I broke. No, I just bent it. But I think this head actually broke off of it. But yeah, there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 on each side you gotta take off, and then and then these clips here. These are what I don't know if you can see those. You push those in, and those go into. Let me get my flashlight. Those go into those slots right there, and I just took a long screwdriver in from out here and pushed up on that, and just kind of pushed it up and squeezed it together, and then it come right out. So 2 of those, and then 4 of these on each side down at the bottom of the grill. So we'll set that over here. Now we can see what we got down here. Yeah, there's the bumper bolts right there. See those right there. Get them bumper bolts off. So I can get the tools. And I think it's just gonna be, well, I think, yeah, right. But I see how they run this now. I see how they run the cable now for the plow. So there's a plow plug there and there, and that won't be too bad. So let me keep taking stuff apart here. We'll get the bumper off, and then we can see what we got for the brackets to hold that bottom plow on. Okay, so what I got, there's a bolt right under here and a bolt down here right there, and then there's 2, one up here and one down below. I think there's just 4 bolts, 2 here, 2 there, and then 2 on this side and 2 on that side. I think that will let this bumper come off. And also that's these wind guards that go. See, there's two more down there at that end, and just pried those off. They're just so hard, I just ended up cutting them off. because I'm going to replace them. I'm going to cut mine off on my other truck. But yeah, we'll put new ones in. And but I'm going to get these 4 bolts out of here. 4 bolts on this side and 4 bolts on that side, and then I'll bring it back once it's just about ready to come off. I think I got to unhook the lights down here for the fog lamps. Make sure these wires are back up through and get this bumper off, and then we'll see what we got. All right, well, I got the 4 bolts off, or the 8, and that's all it's holding it is these 8 bolts. I can't believe they actually came out like they did, because I know my dad's truck probably is not going to come out that easy, because these have been taken apart to put the snow blade on. But yeah, I only had one that really fought me. And the others came out, but man, my dad's truck, it's all original. It's gonna be I can't, but I've oiled it. Tip down here a little bit. I've sprayed oil on that truck to keep it undercoated kind of, and there we go. So hopefully that's helped. I unplugged my lights. There we go. That's good. Unplug the lights. Let me get you out of the stand here. And yeah, wow. Them are all broke. Thank goodness they came out. Yeah, I'm really fearing it's see how they've rusted apart. They're supposed to be, you know, together with that clip on the back. Man, they are rusted. I can't believe that they didn't turn. Every single one of them is broke. Yeah. All right. Well, now we can see what we got here. So what is up? Let me get my flashlight. Let's look up in that hole and see what we got. Yeah, it's yeah, it's some kind of a, yeah, you hold that plate with this thing. That's cool. Well, that's better. And it looks like they should all come out, because that's a little oily back in there on those, and I haven't sprayed them at all. And we can get this one with we can get a wrench in there and hold that one. So yeah, oh cool. And the bottom ones, yeah, they're back up under here. Those should be okay, because I can see them right there. And I may spray those tonight before I go in, just to have everything sprayed. But looks like I'm going to have to drill a couple holes, because my truck does not have those 2 holes. That's a factory hole, but those 2 aren't. So but once I get the bumper and everything off of this, we can just drill it right in there, because it's wide open now. So all right, well, it's late enough. This is all I'm going to do tonight, and I'll bring it back. All right, well, let's see if we can get some of these bolts off of here. Of course, they got 4 different sizes on this thing. And I got a bolt here underneath, and these 3, and it should come off of there. We'll see. I sprayed these, so we'll see how easy they come off. Yeah, it didn't break, that one. One more. Well, on this. there's that bracket. You can see that or not. Where is it? See how that's got the bolt holes, and then it's got a long arm. I mean, I guess that's what you got to do. You got to do. And now I got the one underneath there yet. Actually, there's two, I think. If I remember looking in there, I may need to get a... Let's take a peek under there. Yeah, there's two. Great. How do you get that one? Nice. We can get that one. But that is going to be in the way there. I guess a swivel. Ay. That don't come out of there. All right, well, I guess. I don't know if I can set you somewhere to see that or not, but yeah. Those go into those doodads. Are them gonna spin? Huh. I can't tell if them are gonna spin or what holds them in there. Great. Okay, I'm gonna work on it. All right, well, that's what I had to use. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I didn't have a short impact, so I had to use a 3/8 drive with a 3/8 swivel, adapter, the 1/2 inch, and it came out. I mean, these are the bolts. They came out, and I'll show you what that adapter or that special thing looked like in there so it wouldn't turn. That's what it looks like. Little wishbone. Thank goodness they come out of there. I guess if they didn't, I could have just torched them out and put bolts back in, but all right, on to the other side. All right, well, she's out, and she's hot too. Hot. Yeah, I'm glad them are, they gotta be grade 8 bolts. All right. Now the two hard ones underneath. That ought to be fun. Yeah. All right, now we'll get the other one loose. See if I can bring you down here and show you. Yeah, up in there. Yeah, we'll try it. All right, I'm gonna have to work at getting that one out, and then I'll bring it back, 'cause I just can't get a good camera angle there, so I'll bring it back, see how we did. All right, well, nothing ever goes as planned. So, get my earplugs out here. Well, you can see we got a little fixing to do here. I guess everybody says it's because it's a passenger side, it gets all the salt all the time off the side of the road. Well, maybe true, but because the other side ain't like that. But that nut I cannot get out. Now it's rounded off. I tried pounding another socket on there, and one of my bolt removers and stuff. I'm just gonna get the torch out and cut that off, and then we'll get it out of that bracket from inside. And I got that one to get yet. I'm gonna leave on tonight yet, but just grind, get this nice and clean, and then put a plate over it. That won't hurt anything. Everything else looks pretty decent. I mean, once we get it wire brushed and done, get that hole patched, get that bolt out of there, we'll be good to go. So, well, till tomorrow night. That's it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow night. It'll be just a second for you, but it'll be overnight for me. See ya. All right. Well, let's get that bolt cut off of there. Got the Kentucky speed wrench out here, and got the camera back there so I don't ruin the camera sparks or anything. So it may not be a close up, but it'll work. I guess it would help if I turn the gas on. Okay, try that again. One bolt on the side here, and I think that thing is loose. I think it should be loose. Let me. That one's loose. I think I got that one yet. I got it loose, but I never got it off, so I got one bolt under here, and I think it should be good to go. All right, got the last bolt out. It should come off of there. All right, awesome. Boy. Looks heavier. Actually, looks heavier once it's on the truck. It's not that bad. All right. Well, I don't know if those were pads on there. Probably. Yeah, it looks like I thought maybe it was rust, but I think they were some kind of a pad, to protect it from up against the frame. So that could have been paint. I don't know, because this looks the same stuff. But all right, well, I'm gonna get this mess cleaned up and get that thing out of the way, and then we'll start. I gotta get all this wiring out of here, get all the wiring disconnected and back in the cab, and that goes through the firewall up there and into the cab for the hand control. And yeah, I don't know how much I'm gonna, I'm just gonna fish the wire out So this one and this one, and you know, just disconnect from the battery, unhook everything, make sure I know how it goes, and then we can close this up and pull this thing out and get the other truck in here and start taking off the grill of my other truck. So I did want to look here, and plus get it on camera too. The holes here. Let me get my flashlight out. And down in there, I think I got to drill at least. That one is in my frame on the other one. With them two, I think I got to drill. And I'm not sure if that one's going to be in my frame or not. Probably not. And I'm not sure about the bottom ones, if they're going to be in the frame on mine or not. I don't, yeah. That's going to be the fun. You know, drilling those holes out. Of course, the frame isn't that thick, so it won't be that bad. All right, I'll bring it back here every so often, just show you what I've done. I got the wiring harness out of the one side, the main power source. Got the relay out. Got the relay was mounted right up in here, and I got the wire cut loose back across here, goes in the cab, and then we got this one down here. We got this one. This is the control one, and that's missing the cover. Them are kind of cruddy, but we'll clean those out. Got to get this loose from inside and pull everything out from this way. So I'll just take you in there quick and show you what I got to do to undo this one. Got to get this wire out of here. That's for the control, and then I don't know where it goes up under in there. And it's too dark to see, but yeah, just gotta get those wires pulled from in here out to the plug, and then I think we're about done with what we need to do on this truck for right now. Well, I just realized that this is an amp wire, which I wonder what that big a wire was going in there for, but yeah, it goes into the amps, and the cord for the plow was just this little one, so I'll get that pulled out. All right, well, got all the wiring out of it. That was, yeah, there was a lot of wiring in there for just a plow. I guess I forgot how much, you know, you had to tie into all the light harness, and you know, get all the, I got a couple wires that are broke off we'll have to fix, but for the most part it came out pretty good. It's just, you know, they were tucked up in there and had to remove some stuff to get to it. And yeah, so I'm going to roll this one out, and I'll back the other one in, and we'll start taking apart the front end. All right, well, got my truck in here, and now we're gonna just rinse and repeat what we did to the other one. I'm gonna start with taking this top piece off the grill, get the bumper out of the way, and then we can concentrate kind of on starting to wire it. And yeah, shouldn't be too bad. Looks a little better in here than the other truck, so all right, got that off, and got a little mud dauber action going here. That's what happens when they sit outside. Got the bolts out of here. Now it's this stupid wind guard down here. I think I'm gonna just take my Stanley knife and cut the Christmas trees off, because you gotta replace them anyway. And if you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, and they are just, that one's about ready to come out. But on the other truck, I mean, what a pain. But I'm just gonna cut them off. I'm replacing them anyway. They get really screwed up when you take them out, so I'm just gonna go along and cut those all off. All right, well, that was a lot easier cutting those off. And now I'm just gonna get a long screwdriver here. Pop these off. Just stick it in there and lift up on the bottom of it. And that pops right off. Good deal. Put that out here. All right. Well, looks like this truck, I never really looked, does have a factory transmission cooler. I'd imagine that's a power steering cooler. So that's cool. I don't have to bother about putting the other one on, but yeah, that's cool. All right, well, get these out of the way. And move on to the next. Well, I don't use this much anymore, but them things broke free. Unbelievable. I figured this would be worse than the other one, but that parts truck is way worse than this one. So yeah, let me buzz these out and go from there. All right, well, I thought I was in big trouble with the last bolt, but it came off. I thought one of those clips had broke off, but they had put a bolt and a nut through. I tried to get that out and it kept turning and spinning, and I thought maybe, where are they? One of these clips here, which they aren't in great shape. I think I'm going to try to find some new ones, but the top one was, I don't know if you can see that, top one was gone, so they just reached up in there and put a nut on it. But yeah, this is actually, this is rotted here, but that's typical. But yeah, the clips actually look better than the old ones. The old ones, I think most of them broke when they took them off. But so now I gotta, oh, look at that. So that's how they do that. That little wishbone in there is for the tow hooks. So, and mine look pretty good and oily, because I squirt oil everywhere I can in this truck. But I didn't know how much of it came up here in the front on the bumper, but yeah. All right, well, I think we'll start maybe getting the wiring roughed in on this and start wiring, figuring out. And that old one, I think, had some wires going through that hole back there, right there, that access hole. So I'm just gonna exit and feed my wires through there and take them up across like they were and mount the relay, and yeah, so I'll get cracking on that. All right, well, just an update. I've got the wiring harness run through. Got it tidied up a little bit. I can't stand just wires hanging everywhere, so I've kind of got it zip stripped together. Got the relay pack for the lights, I would assume. Yeah, I assume them are for the lights. I would imagine the plow has its own relays on it for left, right, up, down. But anyway, they're up here where you can get to them if they go bad. They were jammed back in here up. You couldn't even get to it unless you tore stuff apart. But so I put those there so they're serviceable. Got the wires I got to hook to the turn signals and running lights yet. Got this tied up across here. I just test fit this light in here to see how it was going to go with that, with this running through there, which it'll be fine. That's the way it was. And then the old light socket, I guess you just tape off. I filled it full of dielectrical grease and then taped it. So this is your new light for your headlight, and I gotta get this wired in for this turn signal and running light. And let's see, I've got the power cord going in to the firewall up there through that grommet. And I gotta tidy this up yet, and then I can start working on getting the relay screwed back onto the front here and get the wires to that and get the main battery cables hooked up, and that lead coming out here, and then go inside and hook the wire back to the dash. And all right, I'm gonna continue and we'll go from there. All right, well, a little more progress. I got the wire coming from inside. I tucked it up in here and took my fish tape and run it through the channel that was already there instead of just having it, you know, strung out across here and zip strip. So we come out here, come up to here. I got the solenoid. Let's see if I can turn around here. Got the solenoid mounted here, and I'm getting ready to, I got to extend this wire a little. It's just too short for me. I mean, it'd work if I'd put an end on it, but I want it to lay here and come straight up. So I'm going to add a little to it, and then just add the main battery wires here on the solenoid up to the battery, and the inside, and run the plug here. So I'm gonna go ahead and solder this wire here. And now let me get my solder gun. This thing's the handiest tool. Cordless solder gun. I didn't think I'd like it, but it actually works pretty good. So I guess it would help if I had solder. It's not going to take much to do this little wire here. But yeah, I really like this cordless solder gun. Good enough for whose it is. Yeah, that'll be all right. Now I got a little piece of heat shrink here. I'm gonna put over that, and then I gotta put an eyelet on the other. This thing, little heat gun, it's okay, but it's just heats so slow. But for the small stuff, it does pretty good. But you get into the bigger heat shrink, and it just takes forever to shrink it up. But the small stuff, it works pretty good, and you don't overheat it. Like I used to use a little torch and heat it, but this actually does a pretty good job. It doesn't burn it. All right, now I got to get the end cut, and I don't think I have an eyelet here that will fit on that battery. So yeah, it'll be long enough. It'll work, and I can tie it underneath with this other one. And then so I'm gonna get the cables over there, get those power cables on, get them hooked to the solenoid here, and I got the brown one, I got these hooked and back to there. So yeah, it's coming along. A couple more cables, and we're gonna pull this thing out in the morning, and I'm gonna take the hooks off in here tonight, the tow hooks, and move my stand. The tow hooks off, and yeah, that's about it for tonight. I can't believe how much time. Well, I had to stop and blow a big pile of leaves for my grandkid to play in. Me and my son made a big old pile of leaves for the grandson and the dogs to play in. So that took a little bit, but that's all right. That's important. So I'm gonna get some of this buttoned up tonight, and then it'll be a second for you, and it'll be overnight for me. So I'll see you in the morning. Well, good morning. Sun's out. It's a beautiful day. A little cold, but that's all right. We'll take it. Well, last night before I went in, then I kind of buttoned up some stuff, got the air cleaner back on, got these wires for the turn signals hooked in and taped up. I hate those like Scotch lock type connectors that they give to you, but I dielectric greased them really good, and then taped them with rubber, and then taped them with some black tape on both sides, and they should be good. I mean, I dielectric them, I gooped them pretty good. So got everything tied up nice and neat. Got the wire run over for the battery. I still don't have an end for it. And I guess when I put that red wire on, I mean, it's orange to begin with a black stripe, but I went ahead and shrink tubed some black on it and then painted the end black, because I hate red wires going to negative, but that should be pretty self-explanatory now. And then got the negative and the positive ready to go on the terminals, but that's all done. Lights are all done. But I want to get the headlights and the turn signals in. I think I can put them in and then put the grill on, just to see, make sure the wiring works before I, you know, button this thing up too tight. So I'm gonna get those put in, then we'll check the lights. All right, let's got them all in. They're not screwed in the corner here, screw that goes there, but let's see what happens. See if we've got it right, which in my luck I'll have to do it again. Yeah, see, told you. Why aren't you coming on? You rotten. Let's try the turn signals. Go from there. Well, turn signal's working. Maybe I just got a headlight out. I don't know. Didn't think I did. Didn't check them before we tore it apart. Yep, them are working. Alright, well, let's tear that light out and see what I did wrong or whatever. Yeah, wouldn't you know it? My luck. It just hit the bulb. I'm gonna need to go out and see if other truck's got a bulb. I hit the bulb and it worked. So let me go out and see on that other truck, see if I can get another bulb. Well, what's the luck in that? Exactly the same bulb. So that's a good bulb. I'll keep that. And the other one, yeah, they're both identically the same bulb, but yeah, that one, you probably can't see it in there, but it's shot. So I'm gonna make sure, get rid of that. Put that in my junk tray there. Now let's go see quick if the lights work. They should, I hope. Oh yeah. I know the turn signals work. Let's just try the lights. Okay, that looks good. And that looks good. Awesome. Awesome. So I think I'm gonna get the screw in here, hold these in, and get these clamped down, and then let's move this out, and actually it can just stay here because I don't have to move it out. I'm gonna paint that and do that all outside today. So I'm gonna take an air blower and blow all this crap off I can, and then we'll go to sanding. So here we go. Okay, well, I took a lot of it off. There's still some pieces like right here. I'll work on it, get off, like down in here. Well, you get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and work on this, and I'll bring it back when I got it all done, and then we'll cut a plate for the front, for that front hole there, right here. We'll cut a plate and weld that on the outside, get it ground up, and then I'm gonna paint it. All right, well, got it all wire brushed and cleaned up. It's not too bad. It doesn't look too bad. It ain't perfect. I'm gonna paint it by hand anyway. I got some Rust-Oleum black I'm gonna paint on it, and then well, we're grinding and beating on it. You know, we found some more holes. So this whole thing is soft. What I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna plate it, cut this piece of plate and plate it all the way here. Just this whole, where's my marker? I think we'll just do it. We'll just mark it, like we'll cut a plate for here, down around, and like that, because that will catch the back. This right in here is that side piece there, and then we'll go over into this is pretty decent metal right there. So 5 by, yeah, 3.5 strong. 3.5. Assuming this plate's square. They don't have to be perfect. So I got a little bit of a template to go off of. Alright, I'm going to cut that first. Alright, let me get that cut apart and get it sized to fit. Alright, that looks pretty good actually. Time I get my weld around it. Alright, let me clean this up a little bit, and I'm going to clean that up, get that nice and shiny as I can. I'm going to use my flux core. I love my flux core on rusty metal because it works great. So let me get this all ground up and get this a little ground there, and I'll bring it back. All right, I think that's good enough. Clamp that baby on there and get it welded up. Get it tacked on there. All right, well, it's going to take a little while because it's such a small welder. I should get a bigger one because I really like the flux core around here. You know, when you're in the wind and stuff and welding rusty metal. Yeah, it does a good job. I mean, all right, well, I'll get that welded on and bring it back, and maybe we'll start painting on it. All right, well, I guess not bad for an amateur. That'll hold. I'm gonna wire brush it again and then go see if I can find some paint. All right, I got it ready to paint. We'll paint everything we can, and then I'll have to flip it over and do the underside. But now I got this rust stop from Ace. It's an oil base. It's what I had. I'm gonna use. And we'll just get her slathered up here and let it dry a little bit, and then hopefully I may just stick it out in the sun, see if it'll dry quicker. But I also got another little trick that we learned just over the years painting and everything is I always, if it's oil based, I wet my brush with some mineral spirits, and I know it probably dilutes it some to begin with, but you can wipe it off or whatever. But that way it's easier to clean once you use it, once you're done with it. So I'm just gonna stand here and paint this thing, just help it get, seal it up some. All right, there we go. It got it painted, and I've been gone for a few hours, and yeah, looks pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to give it a second coat or not. Then you can tell the crybabies it's time for feeding. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Yeah, I did another coat, and it's like, yeah, it's good. It'll be great. It should last my lifetime. So yeah, I'm gonna get this thing inside, and we'll get it fit on the front here and get some lights on and try to get this thing, at least the holes marked and holes in the frame drilled tonight. All right, got all the holes drilled. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. Get a bolt up in here. Let's see how close our holes are. Now I think the holes should work. Yeah, that will. All right, so I'm going to get some bolts around, get them cleaned up, get them never seized, and get some in there. But yeah, it's basically up, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, get all the bolts cleaned up, and man, we'll have that thing mounted. We're getting there. Probably didn't need to do this, but it sure makes putting them in a lot easier. See, that one's kind of hard. When I took them out, you know, the rust on the bolt, and kind of mars the thread up a little bit. But yeah, it just, yeah, now it's going real easy. So, you know, once we put anti-seize on them, they'll go in there just perfect. All right, let's get some goop on this. See if we can get one of these in.
Well, it's just so close. Try right there.
All right, let me spin those in there just a little until we get to the other side. So I want them to stay loose so we can move it around if we have to. But yeah, well, that don't happen very often. All right, I'll go to the other side. All right, got her all bolted up, and I took these back out. I put washers in there. Probably didn't need them, but I noticed when they did it last time, it was kind of chewed the bolt up. So just put some washers in there. There's a lock nut there, washer there, and then these two under here are done. Yeah, I can't believe it. That thing fit good. And same way over here. Put a couple washers. Put a couple washers there, and the lock washer on that, and the bolt. So yeah, it is bolted up there, and I am tired and hungry, so we're gonna call it a night. Maybe tomorrow we can start buttoning this thing up. I want to spray paint these some. Just take a paint can, spray bomb it, just to cover the rust. And then I got new clips. Went to Napa, got some clips for those. Most of them are good, but there's a couple that are no good. So I guess we'll come back tomorrow night and keep plugging away. It's gonna be the weekend again here pretty soon. So this is all I can do, is a couple hours every night between work and little farm here, and canning season is just about over, and we're doing our chicken broth right now. So, and that's it. That'll be it until we get the cow butchered, and that's in January. So hopefully I got a little month here to bring in another project and work on that. I think I'm going to bring in the old truck, and we're going to rip that engine out of the other truck and see what failed there. I think that's going to be fun. So, all right, till then, we'll see you. All right, well, it's morning, and before I went in and I painted these, I got these I spray bombed them just to make them look better, and just spray bombed the frame horns and got everything, you know, looking half decent. And then this morning I gotta get this bottom air dam off, and man, what a treat. I mean, this is pretty rusty in here, but I'm not gonna worry about the brace right now. I mean, I can change that. I mean, I should do it now, but I'm not gonna wait and order the part and do that. So I had to take the fog light out to get to the bolts under here that were rusted. Some of them twisted off. You know, I had to use my, well, it's a bolt extractor for rounded bolts. That thing works good. I mean, and I gotta do this one yet here. Got to get this one out so I can get the bolts back under there that are rusted. Let's get these last few out, get this other fog light out of here, and get the new one put on so we can get this bumper back on. Yep, literally second to the last bolt. Boy, that thing is, I could have just broke it off, I guess. That thing is broke. Yeah, all right, got all the grinding things around and got the shield on. Don't even need it. Now I still gotta grind that nut off of that bolt. Yeah, we'll have to grind that in half too. Sure. Once something fights you, then everything wants to fight you. Really? That's got to be loose. Gee. All right, I'm going to go find a socket for that one, and then this thing should be free. And clean it up. I'll go get the other one, get some new clips and some new bolts, and we'll see if we can get that other air dam on here. All right, so I did abandon getting that other shroud or that other air dam off that other one because it was twice as bad, and both the one that was, this one that was broke off down here. That one is, the bracket is, yeah, it's broke up here, and so I don't know if I can fix those, if I can fix this bracket doing some of my plastic weld or not, but I'm going to try to fix this bracket because the other one out there is, these are all rusted off. All the well, that one's missing the plastic, and that one's loose down there. So I'm going to try to fix these, put these back in later. I'm not going to try to do it now. That one's kind of broke there too, so I don't know if I can plastic weld them or not, but I'm going to try to repair them. But I did steal a couple of these off of that one because this one, mine's missing like 3 of them here. I don't know why. Somebody's been into this front end at one point, but I don't, not since my dad had it. So it might have been done previous owner. So I'm gonna get these popped in. Oh, I did get a couple of those U-bolts, that's what they call them, I guess, and put a new one there. The rest of them are not bad. The rest of them will work. So I'm gonna get these put in, get everything back up, get these bolts on, get the bumper back on, and then we can try to get the grill back on, And then we got to work on the wiring harness inside. So bring it back. All right, little update. Got the bumper back on. Got it screwed down tight. Since I don't have the fog lights in, I just went ahead and I gooped the socket full of dielectric grease and taped it up. And I'm going to tuck it up underneath there out of the weather until I can get those fixed and then back in. So same way with this side, just goop the whole pin up, the whole plug with dielectric grease, and we'll shove it up in there. And got the wires coming out. I gotta put an end on this yet, which I picked up at work, an eyelet that'll fit this wire. And we gotta put some of these Christmas trees in this and get these, whichever way they went, back on. I think they went like that. Get these back on and get the grill in. And I think the front will be done. The lights worked. And then we got to get inside and wire up the hand controller. Little fuse. This thing goes in there, goes in the fuse block, and then hooks to the power wire. So got to get that hooked up. And then we'll get it outside and at least get the plow hooked up and make sure everything's going to work right. I mean, as far as the hookups, the pins and stuff, I can't run it right now because I don't have a handle, but yeah, I guess one thing at a time. Well, I should have heard you guys yelling at me not to put the headlights in yet, because I can't get the grill over the headlights because I got bolts back here that I forgot about. So I'm going to take those back out. It ain't no big deal. I'll just unclip them and take this screw out and get them out of the way, get the grill in, put the headlights back in, and yeah, that's my life. That's why it takes me twice as long. So I'm gonna get that done magically. Ta-da! Got it done finally. Jeez, oh Pete. Just, I had to take the headlights back out to get the grill in. So I got those out, got the grill in, got this little wind guard under here, with the little Christmas trees pop back up in there. I left them loose. Or wiggle that in. I don't know how it would be. It was hard to get in anyway, but I don't know how I guess you could get in there and push those. Yeah, I don't know how you do that. But anyway, got those back in. Got the cover back on. Oh, I got to put the jack handle back in. That's laying right over here. Might as well do that while we're at it. That way that's done. I can't remember which way this went. Which way did this go? Like this? I think so. How did that lay? How did that go? I can't remember. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now I remember. And the wires aren't too bad in a way. Yeah, that'll work. That snaps in there. It snaps in there. All right, that's back in. And I got everything buttoned up here. These are all tight. I got the eyelet put on the ground and shrink wrapped and put a different bolt in there. I double bolted it, bolted the battery cable on and then bolted the stuff to it. And then this one I just put the eyelet in between with a washer, and it tightened down just perfect. So that's good to go. And I think that's it. I'm going to wait for the air dam. Everything's back together under the hood, and now we're just going to go inside. Everything fits back like it should. Just about dropped you. Yeah, everything fit like it was. I mean, my dad had hit a couple things, and I don't know, because that's a bigger gap than over here, but I know he tagged something right here, and I think he pushed this in just a little bit, but it's back together the way it was. That's the way I'm going to leave it. Okay, let's get inside and get the wiring in there done, and then I got to figure out what I'm going to do for a handle. All right, so in here, there's a 30 amp fuse right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, that green one. that green one right there. You pull that out and you stick this in, and then that gives you a 30 amp excuse me, 30 amp fuse, and then down to 10. And I'm just gonna, I had to cut it to get it through the firewall, so I'm just gonna put it back together. And what I do, I know it's probably stupid, but these blue butt connectors, I hate them. So I take the metal collar out from inside it, and then I put it on each end, piece of shrink tube, like on there, a piece of shrink tube, and then I solder that and then put the shrink tube over it, because I hate those. And just crimping them on inside the cab, you could get away with it, you know, it's no big deal. But outside anywhere, you know, that's what I do. I just peel them out of the connector and then solder them and put a good piece of shrink tube over it. So I'm gonna get that done, get it hooked up, and then we can, I think I'm just gonna wire this, zip tie this up there. I'm not gonna drill holes in the dash for the mounting thing, because this is just gonna be for me. I'm not plowing commercially with it. So most 90% of the time it's gonna be, the handle's gonna be off the truck and in the armrest or somewhere. So all right, got that thing plugged in there, and I got some wire loom around that because it kind of goes up and over a bracket. And I got it all tied up and comes out over there, right there. So I can put my handle on, and yeah, I think we can snap that back on. Okay, got it done. I had to notch it, the cover right here, so it fit over that junction box for those two fuses. But that was no big deal. Just took a hot knife and cut out around it. That looks pretty good. Nobody will ever know. I don't think I'll ever sell this truck anyway, so it doesn't really matter. All right, I think that is done. All right, there we go. Got her all back together. Gonna try to hook it up, but as I was pulling it out, I always had a fuel leak back here. When I filled it, I thought, well, I'm just gonna tighten down the clamp. Well, you know how that goes. Nothing's ever easy. I had to end up replacing that hose up there. There was a pinhole up here, and then right where it went into the tank, it rotted off right there. I don't know if you can see that piece in there, but fortunately it wasn't clear down. Let me see if I can get this piece out of here and show you. This is what happens when you have old junk. But yeah, right where the rubber ended, it rotted off, and I went to tighten it up and the whole thing moved, and it's like, ah, great. But fortunately there was about an inch sticking up from the top of the tank. So right now I just got a radiator hose, and I know it ain't gonna last, but I wanted to get fuel in it and get it moved out of here, and if I had to use it, because they're calling for snow next week, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna find just a piece of fuel line that's that size, 1.5 inches, and then just replace it for now. The tank on the other one out there that we stole the snow plow off of, that tank actually looks pretty good. So one of these days I'll push it in here when the snow's blowing. I'll get that tank down and see how that one is, and see if we can refurbish that one, get it all ready, and then just switch them out. So let's get this thing on here once. All right, okay, I got everything hooked up now. Got the carts under out of it. Let's just drop it down. I tighten that chain up there so we can drop this down, and it'll hopefully hang on the chain. All right, well, I just got to get a handle ordered or figure out what to do, but skid plates, the rookie rods yet, and paint it sometime if I got time. But there it is. All right, there we go. It is on and working. Got new rods, new rookie rods, and I replaced all and redid all these wires that were all cut. Kind of just wired. I mean, they twisted the wire and then black taped it. I didn't put the final shrink tube around it till I knew everything was going to work. But got all those fixed. What else? Got all the lights working. This one was kind of funky. The plastic was broke inside, so I done the plastic weld to it. Let me turn the lights on. Maybe the 4 ways and see. I ain't checked those once everything's done, but and of course top bulb don't work, which I don't know why. Maybe the bulb. I just had it worked before. I redid the wiring in there and cleaned up the terminals and done some other things in that one. But I'll take the lens back off, but oh well. But yeah, I got the new handle, so we'll put the new handle in it. And yeah, I'll just show you here. I can't film out front, but it drops. Goes up. Float. You hold it for a second and it'll float. But yeah, this is compared to the Western snowplow handle, this is I think this was like 180 something. My wife had a discount coupon or whatever, but actually it plugged right in. It plugged right into the, I just took, plugged right into the Western 6-pin and went to this one. And yeah, it worked right out of the box. I'm super happy with that for the price. So yep. So okay, that gotta turn those off. Yeah, so with that, I mean, everything works. Got to get some feet. That's all I got to do yet, and paint it. And but I can do that when there's nothing else to do this winter. So yeah, I think for an old 97 Ford pickup, adding a plow to it just to do our, just to do our lane here. Our lane goes down there and around and clear out to the road, and my son lives up there and gonna do his, and we have to go clear down to the barn. So yeah, it'll be a lot better than putting around on the old Bobcat. Plus it'll save that variable speed that I repaired, I think last year on it, which is still holding up. So this will be a nice treat to be in here and be nice and warm. And yeah, oh my, what a difference that'll be. So all right, well, with that, I guess we're gonna call it good on this, and maybe I'll do a little short video on plowing this winter with it once we get some snow, and hopefully we won't get any snow. So I don't want to change the wheels yet from those off that other one, and some other little stuff I want to do. But I think for the plow, we're going to call it good, and hopefully it was maybe a little informative, but just fun to see put an old plow on an old junk truck. So all right, well, until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you.